Here it is. It's the ashes. It's not cricket. Yeah, that's fancy, yeah. Okay, I like that. Okay. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to our game development update.
Nice to be
We're
here.
July. Ooh, it has been a crazy month for us.
It's actually August now.
How are you two doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing very well.
I'm doing fine, thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful weather here in San Diego, even though we're not allowed to go outside. But no.
We can go outside. We can't be inside. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Just like not too around other people.
I'm going to the beach.
Are you going to the beach?
No, we won't.
If you're working, not going to the beach.
Cool.
Jeff's got some weird thing going on. Your camera's like doing some weird thing. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It's
My
not me.
camera?
It's
It's
the
like the
aliens.
ghost in the
Is
machine.
this like going to be? Are these going to be talking
check my
for not the game?
But my heart
for
is
some time?
racing because we have lots of new people in our community. So first and foremost, I just want to say a huge welcome to all of you who are joining us. If this is
She
your
shouldn't be
first time
nervous.
watching
I think she does a good job.
Game development update. I'm going to kind of walk through what we'll be covering and some quick updates, and then we'll get into it. We roughly do these about an hour, but sometimes they go over because we really like talking to you all.
This video
and,
is.
normally we do like
Oh,
a
1.5
Q&A segment,
hours
but
long.
because we just did an AMA recently, and you could check that out on our YouTube channel
Okay,
over
cool.
at youtube.com/assetofcreation. We aren't going to do a Q&A segment, but we will be pulling questions from the channel throughout.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the first
Okay,
things first,
cool.
let's introduce ourselves so people know who we are and what we do on the project for all the new folks. Obviously, I'll start with Steven, so go for it, Steven.
My name is Stephen Sharif. I'm the creative director as well as the founder.
Okay. So, firstly, Stephen has funded this project himself, but then there's YouTube people or streamers who think it's a scam. Let me just show you here. This guy. Is Ashes of Creation a scam? Exactly. That was 9 months ago. And now he's doing Ashes of Gameplay. So he's done a complete 180. Accusing different parts of Ashes of Creation to say it's not real. Making up fallacy, well, absolutely ridiculous claims, really. So you're going to expect these people who are going to be having little digs at the Ashes of Creation team saying they're not real, but they are. It's just matter of fact. It's like Flat Earth Society saying the Earth is flat. No.
Of Intrepid Studios.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of you have seen a lot of Steven around lately. He's been chatting with a lot of folks and answering a lot of questions. So thank you, Steven. And I've also seen you
Thanks,
popping
Steven.
in on the social media. It's cute. Sometimes I'm like going to reply to
everywhere these
somebody,
days.
and then I see that Steven has already replied, and I giggle because some of the stuff you say is really funny.
I apologize for some of my tweets from the official Ashes
No,
of Creation
man,
Twitter
this-
account.
This game is is the scope of this game is huge, and you've got to have a laugh. You've got to enjoy it while you're creating this game. So if he wants to joke around, that's fine.
Sometimes they can get a little memey, but I have a lot of fun interacting with people, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the interviews over the past couple of weeks with Summit, with Shroud, with Asmongold.
Yeah, the interviews have been good.
With Tim the Tapman. They were.
I think this is the first time we've had somebody who's like a lead developer or designer of the game who's actually reached out to the community and given us like insight into how the project's being built. And Blizzard don't do, nobody does it. It's all behind a secret smoke and screen NDA agreement, and nobody knows what is going on. But this is really good that he's doing this.
It was a lot of fun to just chat with fellow gamers and MMO players who share, I think, a similar passion for the genre, and it's been great to see their community's reactions. And it's awesome to welcome you guys if this is the first time you're tuning in to our development update. We've been doing monthly development updates ever since the end of Kickstarter, every month for the past, over 3 years now. Because we really do believe in the transparent, development process and how beneficial that can be. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this in the past, but how beneficial that can be engaging the community early on. Sometimes if you build a game up and you don't show anything of that game until 3 months out from launch, it's very difficult to go back and fix things, and that can cause a lot of issues. So I, as a gamer, am a firm believer, and now as a developer, in that transparent process, and we really enjoy that you guys are now tuning in and helping us get that feedback.
First and foremost, do not apologize. Do not apologize for being Mimi, because I think that's awesome. That is our culture. I think it's okay. But I do think, on that front, it is very interesting and different to be showcasing development. So we do want to set the expectation that a lot of these things that you're seeing are in development. So yes, of course animations are going to change. Of course, art's.
Yeah, you've got to start from somewhere. So people need to be led to expect that the game is still in development, and you still got single first phase passes and second phase and third phase. It's still a game in development, and it's not going to look amazing in some areas. It's still changes to the foot, so that's fine.
It's going to be updated. Of course, systems are going to be more robust. This is the first phases of them, so keep that in.
And it also means that you can't make claims that of parts of the game that haven't actually been released yet. So you're going to get these people who say, "Oh, this is going to be rubbish. That's going to be good. This is going to be mediocre." You have no idea until the game is released.
In mind as you're watching things and as you're learning about things, and we try our best to explain that. But if you see it from a third party, it might not always give that same impression.
Pint of gin and tonic.
One of the favorite things I have actually about a transparent development, and now having 3 years under the belt in this production of Ashes of Creation, it's always fun to go back to like the first gameplay footage that, when it was just like me, Jeff, and a handful of other people in the studios, and take a look at, where.
Okay, I'm going to skip forward because I'll get to some of the content here.
You got excited there.
Oh, did I? Was I loud?
So the first thing that I wanted to showcase was that we do have new emotes on our Discord, so definitely go check those out. We have more coming along the way.
Okay, those look good. Yeah, those look good. I would never ever have been able to come up with some emotes like this. I think you need kind of I don't know who designed these, but they're fun,
up to
amusing.
Alpha, so definitely check them out. Jeff really likes them. As he was watching Mike make these, Mike's our graphics guy. Thanks,
They're like
Mike.
my favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah, he walked by, he's like, "What is that?"
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's good.
That's so cute. But yeah, this is Nick and Fee, or Fee and Nick. Phoenix, get it? Huh? They're amazing. We kind of have like these little characters. We have like a whole personalities for them. Nick is like the older brother. Fee's like the little sister who's always getting in.
Okay, you've seen those, and so we get into the next.
2020 at 11 a.m. This is 11 a.m. Pacific, I should say. These are also noted in our news articles as we announce new sets, so you already know the dates whenever they're swapping over way in advance. So just keep that in mind, because some folks didn't realize that was the case. We do have.
So,
and by the way,
so every single month they have a cosmetic pack which is released, which you can purchase on the website.
Just a quick note on the pack stuff. I know we've been getting a lot of people asking how they can, purchase an Alpha 1 access. About 2 years ago, I suspended the sales of Alpha 1 packages, and that was primarily because we had already reached kind of the peak testing group that we wanted to have for Alpha 1 before we allowed additional people to come in. That may change in the future.
Okay, so in the Discord conversations, there's been many people wanting to know how they can get access to Alpha 1, the Alpha 1 client. And this is what Stephen said.
It depends on how the testing will go. It would not change until after the initial stress testing and getting everything solidified on our end, where we feel comfortable that we can go above that, 10,000 person limit that we.
Yeah, 10,000 is a lot of people to push out on a server with Alpha 1 testing. I don't think they really need to get more than 10,000 people. 10,000 is enough.
We restricted those pack sales to. So if that is something.
I suppose the only thing I would think of really is how does the time difference impact the server? So if you're getting, say, 5,000 people in one time zone and 5,000 people in another time zone, does that have an impact on the game, or are there any bugs there? But
something you're interested in. Right now, it's not available. You can always upgrade any package that you may own. But otherwise, if you don't want to buy a pack, it's perfectly fine. Just sit back. It's going to be not under NDA, so you can watch, other people playing on stream. You can get people's kind of idea of the game and its current status, and understand what we've implemented from a core feature standpoint as well.
Yeah, and we do have our bonus dev discussion up. This one is a little bit different because it basically came from the AMA with Steven. So we decided to put out a multiboxing conversation because it was kind of like a heated back and forth conversation. So we were like,
don't get me started. Okay, multiboxing. Oh man, this conversation. Oh. Okay, so there are two types of multiboxers. There are those that want to exploit the game, and there are those who just want lots of accounts to play on. In Warcraft, for example, I mean, you see Warcraft up there. Multiboxing is good in terms of if you want to use a profession to, say, enchant one of your other items, because you can't enchant anything apart from your own kit. So if you've got another character you want to enchant and you've got the enchant on your main character, then I mean it's difficult if you haven't got multiboxing. But then you have to pay for a subscription for every single account you multibox on. The bad thing about multiboxing is exploiting resources within the game. So having multiple people logged into different areas at the same time and making sure that they can get access to certain resources within the game before anybody, because they're like in lots of places at the same time. That's a problem, that is, and I don't think that should be allowed. So I guess this is a bit of a difficult one for Intrepid Studios. I think for the valid people who want to spend the money and get the subscription, fine, they can have multiple accounts. But I think that there needs to be some kind of limitation. Especially if they're stuck in one place for longer than 30 minutes or something and they haven't moved. Forced logout after 10 minutes of inactivity, maybe. I don't know. And they need to be installed on different machines as well. I can't have like a bot set up. That's just wrong. So they need to be on different machines. And you need to check the IP address. Anyway, it's a big topic, multiboxing.
The sentiment is overall, and then the dev team is going to take that report and kind of discuss it internally, and maybe we'll change our mind, maybe we'll keep it the way that we currently have standing on it. But you can go check that out over on our forums, forums.ashesofcreation.com. And we also will have another new dev discussion coming up in August as per usual, so stay tuned for that as well. Okay. We won't take one away. We're just giving you an extra one, because Jeff has a long list of questions for us to get through. So we're definitely trying to get through those.
Like a year's worth.
Yeah, and the last.
Yeah, this game is suddenly being pushed into the public eye, which is, I suppose, all these questions are going to come out from the woodwork.
The update that I have for you all is, I'm sorry if I'm talking fast. I'm nervous. There's so many people here. Someone's like, "Girl, slow down."
No, she's doing a fine job. She shouldn't be nervous. She's doing great.
All right. I'm going to switch over to another scene. We have this lovely statue that is still available. Our creative director's letter came out this month, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely go check it out. We did announce that our Leader of Men MPI testing will be coming up here shortly and probably around mid-August, so stay tuned for that. We are currently trying to get everyone's NDAs signed, so if you didn't see an email come in, definitely check your spam and junk mailbox because we have sent those out. We're going to send out another reminder today for new folks who have upgraded. So if you get that email, please check it over the weekend, get us your information, and our CS team will start back up on Monday sending out those and getting you flagged so that you have all the information as we publish that to you all.
Yeah, and just to be clear, anybody who registers between now and when is it, Margaret? September?
Yes, I was just going to say that. So this will be for anybody who has registered from April 7th, 2020 to September 7th, 2020. And we'll do, 12 a.m. or 11:59 a.m. or p.m. PDT, that type of thing.
And there's no purchase behind this. All it is an account registration, so you can participate in the forums and get involved in discussions. Anybody who registers on the site gets this as a home decor item. It's going to be a pretty cool little item that signifies the struggles that we as humanity have gone through now with COVID and are continuing to go through. It'll have a little bit of some effects as the portal there and will be placeable in your home on a table or a mantle, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful. I'm so excited. So that is it for our quick updates. So let's get right into our studio update. If you want to take it away, Stephen.
Okay, here we go.
Absolutely. So, as many of you have probably seen, sorry, my dogs are walking up. As any of you guys have probably, I can't. The little thing, the camera's on like this tripod thing.
The little thing.
Now, anybody who's been following, our socials may have noticed that we have now begun our next round of hiring. We have listed 24 positions that are available at the studio. I was a little bit hesitant early on with this COVID crisis to initiate.
Did she just get told off for moving a microphone? Oh, dear me, the people behind the scenes.
That next round, but honestly, we waited as long as we could. It's not, looking good from a coming back to the office standpoint with the working from home condition, but
that
the team
must suck. That must suck. The whole this COVID thing. Anyway,
has been really amazing in maintaining productivity. As a matter of fact, being actually more efficient and working from home, as we've noticed. But the onboarding process while in a work from home state is obviously difficult. But we had to bite the bullet and begin that next phase of hiring. So I believe we've now secured about 7 of those 24 positions. So one thing that's really helpful, by the way, guys, if you like the ideas that we're talking about, if you like the philosophies that we have within the project, if you have favorite developers out there that you like, I'm all for you helping us share those posts for.
Nothing like a recruitment drive in a live stream.
Our hiring phases, tagging your favorite developers and saying, "Hey, have you heard of Ashes?"
Well done, Steve.
I am unabashed in that sense, so don't worry about doing that.
This is a very cool project, and it's something that I don't think too many developers will get a chance to work on. Where where we're at right now, and kind of the amount of contribution that you can make to the project for a project this.
I'm going to get into the game because otherwise this video is going to be too long. So what we've got here, there we go. Start from here.
I don't know what that ends up being math-wise, but like 50 different times. And so we need something to help us out that way, and that's the kind of tool that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So I have some cool particle effects. I'm going to be swapping some cameras over, so it's going to take a moment before our cameras are all in the right spot. So bear with us.
Yeah, it looks like me when I'm trying to set Twitch up.
No such thing.
I see there's a lot of people in chat talking about a Frognar race. I guess that'd be kind of like a heavily frog-influenced Tolnar species. I don't know if that falls into the reptilian category, the frog attributes, or more of a. Oh, are we showing that video?
Okay, so there's one race called the Tolnar, which are an underground hybrid mix of all the other races, but they live underground and they have lizard skins. And even before the game is created, there's a lot of prejudice against this Tolnar race. So I think there's going to be a battle of the Tolnars or something when this game is released.
Yeah, it accidentally went up. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Because I originally had it in a different order, but you wanted to switch it, so
this is
forgot
blink.
to move it on the screen.
Used on
so the first thing that you're seeing here is actually our blink ability, and we're also going to show the
this.
blink impact. We've been doing a lot of particle effect changes, and I'll let Jeff kind of talk about the design behind that.
Yeah, so I don't know, people who maybe
it's a good job they're still in development phase because I don't really like that effect.
Familiar with Unreal know that Unreal moved a little while ago from Cascade as a particle system solution to Niagara, and Niagara is a really cool, really smart way of building particles.
Okay, so I think that thing would be better because when he exits the blink, he's got 2 purple spheres there and then a little bit of particle smoke effect. I think that would be better if it just one sphere and showed some kind of directional effect to say it's actually come out of that sphere, that circle. I think I don't know about the smoke effect.
So we've been kind of
okay. So go to the next one. That's blink. Okay, so this is
you like the what do you call it?
The tool tab.
The tool tab. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So I'll show the impact of blink as well next.
I like you can see everything on the
This
map,
is
the mini map in the top right hand corner.
This is like a closer up view of it, so that's kind of the thing that's playing off of your mesh when you do that. Obviously, this is not a real character; it's just a fake character.
Okay,
and
blink,
when
blink
Jim's
when
setting up
it's
his ability, he usually uses
stationary.
these pawns
Okay,
so that it's a really quick iterative process.
Okay, fine. That's good. I mean, all these processes you have to kind of go through, but that's good.
It was actually in regards to graphics and like different settings and what those particle effects will look like.
Okay, what's this?
I don't know if you all want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, as we enter into phases of optimization and as we're developing these types of effects, we're taking into consideration that, players will have a scalability setting that they can tune, which is appropriate for their rig or hardware that they're running.
Okay, that's good.
That kind of
So you're not going to go down to 10 frames a second when all these
lessens the load on the client in order to render these types of effects or, these numbers of polys on the character or,
that's
essentially just having scalability options. So one of those in relation to the effects is, players can scale that down so it's not as intensive on their rig.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to switch over to the Prismatic Beam next.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Jeff, you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So this is Prismatic Beam. This is one of those channeling skills, so it does more damage the longer you hold it down. It kind of roots you into place, but is a really high damage, high risk, high reward.
Lightning on a Quake 4. That's what that's like.
The effect here is really neat. Beams are not super easy to do.
It's good. I like that.
The kind of flowy, watery almost feel of this ability, I think Jim captured really well. It feels like a nice, awesome, powerful laser. I guess even better when you see some of the animations that are behind that. You really get a sense of like, oh, this is a very powerful thing. That's kind of, we always feel and flow is really important to us always, and this really captures kind of that.
Good.
Like, you are channeling some serious magic here.
You want to feel the game, don't you? You need to feel that it's actually happening.
You want to talk a little bit maybe about the difference between the tab targeting skills that we saw just previously and how this one works from a line effect standpoint.
Yeah, so we kind of split the difference between the different kinds of abilities that we have. We want to give people a lot of different opportunities to play the game the way they want.
So does that mean different abilities will have tab targeting and different other abilities will have kind of FPS type targeting?
Too. So we have some abilities that are tab targets, some abilities that are dynamic, and then some abilities that are like purely action based. This is kind of falls in the
so 3 types of that's going to be interesting.
That latter category where this beam's going to go wherever you are pointing your camera.
So usually with tab targeting, you tab it, you press a spell or something, it goes directly to that target. With dynamic, I'm not quite sure how the dynamic will be, but when you're doing like an FPS type of target, action-based type of target, you have to manually point the pointer on the target you're trying to get access to. So 3 type combat system.
You need to be on target, otherwise
work.
You can miss. It's not really related to the accuracy of your character's stats. It's more the accuracy of your mouse. So, we want to make sure that you get opportunities to kind of play that risk reward game based on how you want to play the game.
Right. And is this effect an area of effect?
So you actually do need skill as well as gear then.
Or does it stop impact on impact and deals damage to that initial target and doesn't go past it?
Right now, I think it does both. As you scale it up, I think the first stage of it stops at whoever you target, and then the final stage passes through and hits everything in the cone.
Ooh. So you can like line everybody up and then just knock them all down like a bowling alley. That'd be cool.
Nice. So that's more about that, injecting additional skill points into individual skills to unlock additional features for it. So
imagine that if you just had like a load of people in a big line, you just knock them all out in one go with that beam ability.
The initial one would stop on a collision impact, and then later stage would go through. That's cool.
Correct.
Yeah.
And obviously,
like a railgun on Quake,
we may change and alter abilities, so keep that in mind as we're moving forward for sure.
Yeah, this is like the first iteration of this ability for the mage, so it's going to go through a lot of
if this continues, it's going to be successful.
If we're ready to move on
from a design point of view.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. The next one is going to be the level
We're definitely going to go over time, by the way.
Yeah, we're definitely going to go over time.
Telling me.
And we don't even have
I gotta
the
think
Q&A
about my
this time,
hard
we're
disk
still gonna
space,
go
man.
over it.
It's a good thing we did an hour and a half AMA.
Yeah, true. So our next one is our level up effect. Now,
okay,
this is kind of a really important thing with, games because I think they can be really iconic and memorable. So do note that this is still in stages, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I mean, one of the cool abilities that we all love seeing, and it gives us a major dopamine response, is when our character levels up, especially when you're higher level.
Okay.
You know, this is the first iteration on the level up effects. One of the things I loved, you know, about when I leveled in Lineage 2 was it had this like God ray comes down over your character and expands, and little leaves, like little golden light leaves, fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's this cool event. So we wanted to try to hit that a little bit. There's going to be further iterations, but this is the first pass, and I really like the direction Jim's going.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
just
one
wanted
thing
to
Jim
set
does really good is like the radiance effect. Like he uses colors in really interesting ways. And
I think that's a good start, but I think they need to continue that yellow expansion of the of the race. Excuse me, into like I don't know a leveling explosion or something.
I love what he's able to bring out in some of these effects. They're not just simple unicolor
But there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, that's a good start.
kind of things. There's the full spectrum of the rainbow in this effect.
Okay, I'm moving forward.
Through one of the dungeons, but I did it with Margaret and Sarah. By the way, this is Margaret, Sarah, myself doing this little video. I did it at flying above the dungeon so that you can just get an understanding of the scope. I know you had seen likely this dungeon in previous 4K video, but it was on foot. So I really wanted to show off, you know, being up in the air and just kind of seeing this grand size dungeon. And this is an early dungeon too. It was a level 10 dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have shown this dungeon before, I believe. So you might have seen footage of some of it before, but are you ready to pass it over to the video?
Ready.
All right.
Let's go.
See y'all in 17 minutes.
All right,
17 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna cut bits of this short.
Slide to the right.
Oh, we're
Take it back now, y'all.
we're recording, by the way.
What? Oh.
Yeah, no, that was good though. I like that.
So
We're
just the overlay screen here. So you got the map there, the way the focus works, the direction. You're showing you different elements on the map as well. You got your health, you got your mana pool, your icon that needs a bit of change. I think your icon for your player, but you got all your spells there. Nice, clear, crisp interface. Yeah, okay.
we're good. Hey guys, we're here live. Well, actually, we're not live. This is pre-recorded, but
We're live right now.
we're live.
Okay. Let's get to it.
You're gonna have raw resources that essentially you can, if you have the tools available for the.
Okay, this
yeah.
is going to be
Here, I'll
the
grab
gathering professions, I expect.
There we go.
Chopping a tree.
Essentially, you have the tools for these raw resources out in the world.
Doesn't land on anybody's head.
You're going to
Bonk.
get.
I'm landing on her head.
Cutting you short. Fit right underneath it.
Yeah, I just was safely underneath the log.
You're going to essentially be able to harvest different raw resources out in the world based off of the tools that you have available to you. And higher quality resources are going to require higher quality tools as well. It's also important to note that.
Okay, that's good. That's good. You have that in WoW for certain professions, but not others. Engineering, for example, you have it, but you don't have it for mining.
That you know, many of the raw gatherables out in the world have an opportunity to essentially to grant you rare resources that you can proc based off of the skill level you have within the gathering tree.
Okay.
And you know, that's always nice to have. I think I remember.
I like no, that's good because there's nothing like trying to find something and you go into nodes all the time and you get the same thing all the time. So having to have the ability to level up that to get different, better resources is a good idea.
Playing a little bit of Star Wars Galaxies, and I really loved how they did their crafting system. I thought it was very well done. So
I've never played Star Wars Galaxies, so I don't know what that's like.
let's kill this dude.
There's a kitty on me.
Oh no.
Oh no, protect the door.
Are those fighting particle effects? They're not bad actually.
There you go.
Is that a first iteration?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
makes you feel like you're
Oh,
actually
there's
doing
like a
something.
brawler over here. Maybe I should can like pull him. Where's my little pull?
Some of the characters look like they're floating on the feet. It looks
Pull
a bit
skill? I don't have a
strange.
pull skill?
Yeah, you should.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. No.
They look like they're
Javelin?
separated from the environment, but I'm sure that will come over
No.
time.
I always move them around my hotkeys, so I don't actually know where it is.
Oh,
Like
it
by
is
default.
Hook shot.
I don't like the order.
Well, that guy got wrecked.
Yeah, he's looking a
Yeah.
little worse for wear.
Shouldn't be trying to steal stuff from people.
No.
He looks like he's permanently fist pumping in death.
And try to get this tree.
I'm gonna kill somebody
There you go.
else.
There's like a dude standing right in front of it though. Oh, there's two of them.
Okay,
Oh no, there's three of them. Here, the tree will kill them. Oh, darn it.
So you got this whip. You've got the sword effects, the particles there. You got that explosion he does with his
go.
shield. That's pretty good. I
Who's
like that.
blinding us with her
Nice.
beam.
I know, right?
Do note that like the particle effects are still.
If you had
Oh,
a
yeah,
raid
everything,
Are you
with
blinded by my holy light?
40 people doing the same thing,
Just so you guys
You're
know,
too divine for
man,
us.
yeah, I think they need to sort out that particle system, because if you get lots of people with all those effects at the same time on the same screen, that's really going to slow your system down.
art is always going through different iterations and different passes. I personally think it looks great for
I think it's good they've given this exposure to everybody so they can see how the game is being developed. You would never get that with another game.
pre-alpha, but it'll definitely get some love. These are kind of trash mobs. I think we're all level 10, so we're much higher than them. Oh, we're in a party! Yay!
We're not in a party. I figured we should all be friends.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
So I can see your
Okay,
health
so
and
you can
healing.
invite people.
Let's
That's good.
see if we can find any more.
So this is August, and they've got the party system sorted. They've got most of the spells sorted for specific
Oh,
classes.
you know what? Actually, there's like a little
Or rather, there's a nice line of spells there on the bar for specific classes. That's good.
dungeon here, isn't there? Where's the dungeon? Oh, you know, if we want to.
I think we've shown this one before.
Have we shown this one? Well, let's go through again and just kind of show off the size of the dungeon. Let's fly this time, because I think
Oh, okay, cool.
previously we kind of ran
Oh,
through
look
it.
at this pretty bear. I don't want to kill this bear though.
Oh, yeah.
It looks too cool.
No, let's not kill it. I don't. It seems like he's just having a nice time. Oh wait, my bad.
Oh no! I'm a
could kill
conscientious
people.
objector to this. I'm just gonna sit here and
Toast,
watch.
just watch.
Oh, there's a lot of herbs and stuff over here. So
yeah,
you know,
okay.
in
Oh yeah, let's pick them.
as you go out and gather, right, there's going to be obviously various tiers of gatherables that are out in the world. And, you know, you're going to have the more common ones that are acting as kind of base gatherables, base resources that kind of support a tiered structure as you
Okay.
process things upwards. And then you're going to have more rare ones. And these are all kind of like one-off gatherables that you're
What
kind of
the
seeing
hell was
here,
that?
but there are large vein
Yep.
resources essentially, which you know, have multiple applications of the gathering process. So
Oh, okay. So lots of people can attend one vein and get materials
like you
from
may
there.
have
Okay.
a large mine of iron, you know, ore,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that.
and it can attract a lot of people over time to come and deplete it.
Oh, okay. So you get like X amount of ore attempts or mining attempts on that, and then after it's finished, it goes
First,
Okay, good.
and then once it gets depleted, it'll spawn elsewhere.
Okay, cool.
I
I,
think
like
this
that.
is like dungeon area.
I'm guessing
As far
that
as the tools
only
go,
you
will
can
people
only
be able
take
to, like,
so much from a
customize their
mine.
Tools and have like cool, different looking ones.
Yeah, so tools are going to exist in a similar fashion to the tiered resources that it's applicable towards. You can't really customize a particular tool, you know, to look different. However, based off of the quality of your tool making, you're going to be able to have more uses out of these tools. Now, tools will
Okay.
have to be continually replaced as you are using the tools to gather resources.
Oh,
You'll
so do they degrade over time or something then? Durability goes?
have to replace them, obviously.
Oh, so you've got to completely replace it. So you've got to build a new one then. Is that right?
All right, yeah, let's we definitely can't kill the content in there, but let's fly through.
Imagine that you've got like a super rare ore node that's just spawned in front of you and there's nobody else around and your tool is knackered, you can't mine it.
maybe.
This one's not a flying mount.
Really?
Oh yeah, I don't think
Yeah, so we've seen this dungeon in another video.
it is.
It is not.
The one that's in our invitation.
But I like the transition from open world into the dungeon. That's good.
That's weird.
I thought it was though.
Are you guys GMs?
I think this looks really good. It's very capturing, like the difference between outside and inside. It's really good. The lighting effects are good as well.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, because we
Yep.
leveled up and stuff.
That's super weird. That you guys can't fly.
And it feels eerie inside. That's
Why?
good.
Maybe you don't have the royal status on.
Clipped our wings.
Royal status? Royal status? That sounds privileged.
Oh, I don't think you guys have the royal status for some reason.
Mm.
Um,
Hell, I want the royal
that's
status.
weird. Yeah. Okay, well that's fine. I'm gonna fly through. You guys can try to like run maybe.
Yeah, we'll see who can live.
Yeah, run all the way
Hitsy,
through
Maggie,
the trash.
Hitsy.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Z should
not
work.
right.
There you go. Okay, perfect. Toast must have made you a
Z and X
royal.
is up and down.
So just to kind of like give you guys an idea of the this dungeon and give you guys context for the size literally of like the world around you, right? I mean this is a pretty massive sprawling
big.
dungeon.
That
This
is
is one of
big.
the first like level 10 area dungeons that you can go through. The world is intending to be, massive, really big.
That's good, that's good.
And because of that, a lot of the corresponding like points of interest and stuff, we want to reflect that size.
Yeah, there's
that size in the
nothing
environment
worse
that you're
having a
seeing,
huge
the
world
dungeons
than
that you're
getting from
fighting in.
point A to
You
point
see
B
here it's
really
pretty
quickly.
standard. Multiple rooms that are kind of present. Different hunting areas that players can group in and stuff. And there is going to be that dynamic where rooms are going to be contested because some rooms are better than others, and that's just how the dungeon works, right? I think that.
And I know you've answered this before, but
Yeah.
I'm sure folks who are kind of new.
So
are
that's gonna
ask,
be like dungeon
when it comes to
PvP then?
contested, how does that?
So
work exactly?
you're gonna have like access to a dungeon from the open world, and you're gonna get contested areas, rooms where people are just like spamming everything to kill everything in there. That could be messy, but it is good. Creates a little bit of competition.
Well, essentially, like, let's say, you're in your guild and, you're in your party and you roll
Yeah.
up on,
Here you
like,
go,
let's
here
say
you go.
me and Jeff were in our little party and we see you and Sarah here with your group.
Yeah.
And you have a room that, has the best, maybe farm rate or whatever.
Okay.
We're winning it. Toast and I gonna
Oh yeah.
keep it on lockdown.
Yeah. Well, I
Well,
think yeah.
what we would do is
it's
we'd
gonna
roll
be
up and
open
we'd
world
politely
PvP.
say, hey, how you doing? How long you guys? Whoops. I accidentally something.
Or just keep everybody out. You wouldn't let them in that area. Just keep everybody
We
out.
would say, hey, you guys doing? How long are you going to be here for? And if you're just like, it's our room, you'll never have it, then we might have to throw down some fisticuffs and maybe declare like a guild war or flag on you or, something that
Okay, cool.
might contest your ease of gameplay within
Yeah,
that
you're gonna
room.
get idiots that declare guild wars all the time.
That's pretty much how it would work, I would say. Like, those are some of my favorite experiences I had, like in Lineage and other, PVX games where PVE is very important, but that PVE has a gosh darn it. I keep trying to fly with my.
It's
mouse
kind of
and pulling up
static,
my
isn't it?
control
PvE
screen.
doesn't go very far.
Oh well. Here, let me jump down here. But yeah, that's just kind of the dungeon. Give you guys a little.
I meant more so like the contestedness of like when you're tagging mobs. That's what I meant.
Oh, I see. Got it. Yeah.
I get that part though. I've had plenty of games where you find your little place and you like farming for item drops and things.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, so
Okay.
Yeah.
it's really fun.
We've
For like tagging mobs and stuff,
I think we've got
there is a.
we got the gist of that now. I think we know that how that's going to work. There's a dragon, I think, in here. Let's just get to the dragon.
Puzzle.
Not I hate jumping puzzles. I'm so
We need round 2.
no.
Okay, I think this is it.
Yeah.
Where's our dragon
Where's
friend?
the jumping puzzle? Oh, you got to be dismounted.
Oh, you got puzzles actually in the game as well.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there's a dragon. Yeah, I knew he was here somewhere.
It's waiting for us to go through, I think.
But yeah, all right, we're gonna see you back on stream. Hope you guys enjoyed a little look inside the game right now.
I like how it's been developed. I like the atmosphere of the game. The interface is clear, as I said. I think they just need to clear up the left-hand side character's view on the screen. The mini-map is good. I like it. It feels part of the interface. It's very fluid and it's transparent. That's good. The spells could do with a little... Maybe the bar needs to be moved down and refined at the bottom. I don't know. It seems a little bit empty at the moment. But obviously artwork will be added to that, and then that'll come with time. But yeah, I like the way it looks.
Now, I know it's been a while since we showed some footage, about a month. But little talk on Gathering. We'll talk a little bit more on stream, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Okay, cool.
Guys. All right, now everybody now slack.
All right. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video. We'll have it kind of playing in the background here while we chat a bit. I grabbed a bunch of questions from chat.
Okay.
There's one person in particular, you're spamming. I'm still going to ask your question, but no need to spam. I was snagging all the questions for y'all. The first thing I do want to preface is, for those of you who are new, because I saw some people commenting about flying is not going to be like that. We're not all just going to be able to fly. I don't know if you guys want to talk a little bit more about that. Obviously, we've answered this many times.
Yeah,
But we got tons of new people.
Yeah, we got a lot of new
this is
people.
true. So just to be clear, flying is very, very, very restricted. It's a very powerful, obviously, achievement, but it's restricted to the leaders of guilds that own one of the 5 castles in the world, as well as the mayors of metropolis stage nodes, which there can only ever be 5 at a time. And then there are rare
10.
drops that occur from legendary world bosses that are essentially eggs that players, there's a lifetime on that egg and then a lifetime on the mount.
I know this feels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just,
Sorry.
Okay, so you got 10 flying mates for guild leaders and then mayors of cities plus the eggs for a limited time only. But I think that's a good thing because you don't want everybody having a flying mate because it turns a world that is that big into something which is this big and it becomes boring really. So you want to maintain that aspect ratio of the map on how big it is. Having flying mounts really just minimizes the size of the map.
It's a terrible joke.
and then there's
So it's good. It's for a small amount of people, not a large amount of people.
There's essentially you can raise that up to increase the lifetime per se, but it's limited. So there really will only ever be maybe at a time, between 10 to 15 players that are going to have access to flying mounts, but they will be significant mounts. They'll have abilities that are very strong. All mounts will have
Okay, cool. So your mounts can attack them?
certain types of abilities, and the royal mounts will have the most effective abilities, especially when it comes to PvP or AoE type effects.
Okay.
And you won't be able to run through like we did. We obviously have like GM hacks and stuff like that, but you shouldn't be able to like just run through the entire dungeon and skip everything necessarily.
Yeah, that wasn't a legit dungeon experience. It was more just showing you guys what's going on in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Also, Steven, you just left me there when I like pulled just that one mob for you perfectly. I peeled perfectly.
Oh yeah, I wasn't about the lava bear life.
No, they
with
hit
only
hard.
2 people.
Scared.
It's a tough
put
one.
some
Nearly
GM
wiped out
armor
the
on.
You could tell that Steven's used to being the mage because I'm used to being the tank, so I'm used to like pulling like little mobs like that all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I do have a lot of questions. I don't know if you want to go into those first or if you'd rather just kind of like talk about crafting because I do want to talk about harvesting and gather bowls and crafting a little bit. I know you talked about it as a contextual, but maybe going into more depth. I don't know which one you want to do first, questions or
we can do
that.
some questions. Just keep in mind that obviously as we test, some of these systems are going to get iterated on. And then additionally, I know we're going to release a blog later on that goes into some significant detail. So it might be smart to save some of the really detail-oriented questions for the blog when that comes out.
Okay.
But yeah, we can do some questions.
All right, let me grab these questions and then we can
This'll be
talk about other
interesting.
stuff that's not covered here.
Sure.
So Piccadolive, Oliver. I don't know. I'm probably going to say all of your names wrong, so sorry. Say I don't harvest or gather for a couple of levels. Would I then fall back or fall behind in skill and not be able... Stop, I can't read because your name keeps covering stuff.
Sorry.
And not be
Forgot,
able
for
to
sharing.
gather certain resources in a higher level area?
Yeah, so the advancement and progression that exists within the artisanship path does not correlate to that of your adventuring class. So you could not you could choose not to touch gathering at all until you max your adventuring class level out, and then you can go back, and that's going to be completely removed from those two things. You can go back and you can start gathering the lower end tier type gatherables and start building up that profession. Start building up that branch of the artisanship tree. And as you build it up, you begin to get access to certain professions that you can then start essentially utilizing to get additional experience there, which unlocks more capabilities.
Yeah, also keep in mind that the way that we're designing these zones is it's not a progressive, like, this is a level 10 zone, this is a level 20 zone, this is a level 30 zone. That's not how the game is designed. Every level will represent and have some content for just about any level person. And that goes with resources too, right?
Oh,
resources are going.
Okay, so that's one of the things that you have in like WoW Classic is like you have access to a certain zone, you do all your quests, and then it's left, and nobody ever goes back there again. So that if they can just reutilize those zones, that's going to be good.
Going to be available in places where they make sense, not necessarily based on we're going to put all the iron in the level 10 zone and all the mithril in the level 20 zone. That's not how it's going to be functioning. It'll be more
that's good. That's
more
good.
Sort of realistic, regionalized, and a little bit more. It'll be less gamey and more natural, I guess, more organic.
Right, and the idea there is to essentially provide kind of system generated stresses based off of those placements so that regions and localities have to essentially utilize the trade systems and the caravan systems to move goods around so that players have access to their local warehouses for the materials and or gatherables in order to either process them or use them in crafting stations that come online as nodes advance. So there's a significant importance on the location of these goods and how they relate to the location of the crafting centers as well.
Yeah, the economy is super important to us. We want sort of a living economy.
That's really good because that creates like a big dynamic to the game in terms of the economy. Moving goods from city to city with the caravans, that might get rid of people just camping these one areas all the time. You get that in Warcraft all the time. One person is just sitting there for like an hour waiting for a spawn. It's really annoying, really annoying.
Economy, which means that there is a sense of supply and demand, right?
That's really good.
Regions will have a lot of a certain type of resource, and they won't have other types of resource. And it will be up to the players to sort of take advantage of those different supply and demand curves and try to maximize.
So that they're forcing the economy then to develop, which is a good thing.
Maximize the amount of money they can make from it.
Yeah, we could probably take one more question, Margaret, just because I know we have a lot of art stuff to show as well, and we're already at the hour mark. I think.
My gosh.
Okay, true. I did pull like 20 questions, so that's probably why they can see how many questions. Okay, so I'll just ask this one because it actually pertains to what you're just talking about, which was selling stuff. Spectron7X asked about player sales and auctions. Will there be any way for players to search for items before they travel to a specific node, or will players be restricted to shouting advertisements in node towns? My perspective comes from Star Wars Galaxies and EVE Online. Both.
So do you know something's coming before it's arrived?
Games had mechanisms for discovering that an item.
So I suppose, would you have to declare that I'm traveling, I'm taking this from X to Y, and that would say that in Y this is going to be available?
Is sold at a location prior to traveling there, so you don't waste your time, kind of.
Sure. So real quick on that front, there's a lot of components to that question. It touches a lot of different things. But on the auction house front, economic nodes will have access to auction house that are local to those nodes. And as a node progresses and begins to vassal other nodes, if the parent node is economic, it will have the ability to connect with those vassal nodes that are under its zone of influence, and it will be able to share the auction house in that regard, especially at the Metropolis stage.
So it depends
additionally, from a player stall or shop standpoint, if you're in an economic node, there will be certificates that you can purchase from the economic node main building that will provide the license, essentially the business license, to sit down and put up a player owned shop wherever you're at in the world. But you have
Holy shit. That's good.
to have the license that you purchase from the economic nodes.
So you can basically sell licenses for, oh man, that's going to be so good.
And then additionally, each node has the availability to either build a market, or economic nodes are by default have player-owned stalls or rented stalls. Sorry. These stalls you can put.
So you could essentially create a shop outside of a dungeon that requires a specific resource and then just sell it there. That's really good.
In either services for recipes that you have access to that players can come and interface with and utilize, and you can charge a fee for it, or you can list items for sale within the stall. Now, all of those stalls and the auction house's listings are capable of being observed so that you know where to go to get certain things on a community board, essentially, where you can access the town center's
I've seen community boards in lots of games, but yeah, it's a nice feature.
Community board, and it will show you the location and items that you can search through, and then you'll have to travel to that location if you don't have access to either an integrated auction house hub or the stall is not present in that location.
Yeah, we actually have an article about economic nodes. A lot of the stuff that Stephen talked about is in there, and it even goes into more detail. So if you want to go check that out, it's on our news page, ashesofcreation.com/news.
Okay, I will do.
You can find it through the node series, which is called economic nodes. So you should be able to find it pretty easily. I know we still have more in that series that are coming along, but design is still finalizing the military one and the divine one. So we haven't put those out yet because we want to make sure that they're pretty much in a more finalist shape before we actually share that information with you all. So with that, we know we have a lot of questions. I just want to preface that normally we do a Q&A segment on our live stream. Obviously this time we're not because we did an AMA for a really long time. If you want to check that out, it's on our YouTube, youtube.com/ashesofcreation. But we will be doing another Q&A for our next one. So stay tuned for that, and we'll let you guys know in advance. We usually announce that a week in advance before our live stream. So you have time to plug in your question, and then Toast, who's amazing, our lovely community manager, she'll put together the ones that have already been answered and answer those for you, and the ones that haven't we'll put into our live stream for that. So stay tuned for that. So without further ado, we're going to move on to environment art.
Okay.
The first thing we have here
I
is
think
the
I am
wonderful
gonna skip
particle
over
effects.
this
This is another
because
wonderful
you
thing
just
from
need
Jim.
to,
We have shown
flick
some of the
what it
waterfalls
looks
in the
like.
past, but I'll let Stephen
So
kind of talk a
let's-
little bit about this. They're so pretty.
Yeah, I think just part of the
Yeah, okay, there's water
process
effects.
that goes into
They look good.
iteration
Okay.
over the art assets that enter the game. We had some old waterfalls that didn't necessarily live up
Okay.
to snuff and how the world was progressing.
But they're looking good now. Okay. So this is a beach scene.
I love these.
Yeah, they're great. And then the next set
Okay,
of
that's good.
assets we have here are the junior node buildings
Assets.
that
I love how they call them assets.
Ricky made.
They don't physically exist.
Yeah, Ricky Ho, one of our concept artists, as he begins to kind of diversify the
Yeah, it looks like my house.
selection of architecture for the Dunir race and all and the other races working with our talented concept team. They provide these.
Okay. Next one. That one looks good.
These are mostly what it looks like village stage building variants that exist within the Dunir culture. The Dunir being a more traditional type of a dwarven race that you might expect from medieval fantasy games. It's always interesting that usually dwarves are portrayed inside of a mountain, but here you're going to see literal settlements that are out in the grasslands or out in the tundra or wherever there might be in whatever biome, and that's going to, I think, present a really cool, really cool and unique presentation for a more traditional type mountain dwelling race.
I almost
Yeah,
timed
they're
it
just-
perfectly with your mountain,
pretty
with
good.
your grassland and your tundra. Go for it, Jeff.
Oh, I was just gonna say the dwarves haven't had enough time to excavate the mountains yet when they arrived. So
Right, exactly. Love it. They haven't cleared out
okay.
the dark, corrupt denizens that may exist in the mountain.
Perfect. Now
So
we get to move
there's a
on
lot of
to
work
our
to
character
do
art
for
team
all races
who
in the
submitted a
game.
lot of great stuff. So we're going to switch on over to that. First and foremost, we have some swimming. I know a lot of folks have asked about swimming, so I'll let Steven talk over this.
Yeah, so I mean, as you guys know, there's a lot of water content that's planned.
Whoa, that's dark.
You didn't
Whoa, that's dark. Whoa, okay, but we'll let it continue.
see there in the transition from the above camera shader to the below camera shader any type of screen effect that will be applied later, like water kind of drying up or something. But as you can see, this is some fundamental swimming. You will be able to utilize your abilities while in the water. There is going to be naval content that will require large groups of people participating in water combat as well as ship to ship type combat. So we're now just starting to flesh out essentially the buoyancy and physics of the ocean, as well as giving the character animation blueprint the ability to transition from.
Developing a game is pretty difficult, really, when you got to think about all this stuff.
A land state to a water state that utilizes these animations, which our animation team has taken a first pass on. I think they're doing good. Looks good.
Yeah, and like we said, this is early pass, so bear with us. These aren't this isn't final or anything like that, and we will have some other adjustments to it as well. But if you have suggestions and stuff like that, you're always welcome to head on over to our forums. We love reading all.
Well, I think so far this is looking good for a first pass of a game. That's good. This is some of the artwork.
He is definitely on the green side.
People have been asking for him they're like, goblin playable race. I'm like, not currently planned. I'm never gonna say never, but not currently planned. We already have 9.
So I guess it's like an NPC that you can kill or something. We got some of the.
So this, I was going to say, I don't see the cuts. I was like, that's interesting. This would be, as we construct different armor sets for NPCs to mix and match with, you're going to see more of this, more of these NPC clothing and armor that comes online. This one looks like a character. This one looks like character. I can see the pieces on the arm.
Yeah, so you're going to get all this different armor, aren't you, in the game, and you're going to get access to, well, if you manage to get that kit. So
here was a cosmetic. When was this cosmetic? Was it a long time ago?
I could look, but I'd have to. Oh, actually, I can look right now. I don't have to be on VPN for it.
Well, long time ago. Basically, your armor exists in I believe it's an 8-piece set. That
okay, so that's like Warcraft.
You can individually apply cosmetic appearances towards. So you would have a glove armor piece that you would then apply this what's it called, the gauntlet of
Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
Spellbreaker's Gauntlet. So you can apply this cosmetic appearance to the gauntlet. Now, in the game, this portrays a little 3D effects above the gauntlet that will be rotating, and it might actually glow and brighten as you cast an ability or an.
I suppose you get different colors as well.
Ability effect occurs, right? It might call the glow to animate and move. But this is the in-game model of that Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
What the hell has she got on? What she just pulled up on her? Oh, it's a cat.
The cat has interrupted. The chat's probably.
It's pretty great when we can just see the tail.
Oh dear.
It would be the July 2018 to August 2018. Thank you, Violet Lights, for sending that my way. You are lovely.
Oh my God. Where's the time gone? I feel like my life is flying by.
I know, it's crazy.
It's just
one
large game design. Exactly. I don't even remember living before starting Intrepid. It's like my headspace has been completely vacated and now only exists in ashes.
Okay. I can imagine it takes up a lot of his time.
C'est très bon.
Très bon.
C'est un peu.
All right, next we have our War Beast animation. We showed a little bit of the War Beast before and people lost their minds, so enjoy this now.
Okay.
And this is
I didn't see what it was like before,
but
that looks
creation. She's amazing.
That's
Hi,
fine.
Jency. Someday I'll get you on the stream.
Yay.
I think it's so huge.
It's massive, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have a scale next to it, but this dude's pretty big. He loves killing people with herds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
The
it's
next
like a
one is going to
Triceratops.
be our ram. So you saw this last
Oh, that looks
week.
cool.
You saw the Ram
I haven't seen
Ram
the fur
hauler.
on this guy. It
Yeah,
looks so good.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
good.
horns
That
are
does.
Definitely refining their fur and hair cards.
It's like that scraggly goat hair, you know?
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks great. I think
Is it, have they
I
got it in
think
a
this was
scene?
Carson that did this little dude. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
The not the animations of them, but the
No. Sorry, he did the model.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who did these animations. It might be Myers, I believe.
There it is.
Oh, but
again.
there he is with his caravan. Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is a Dunier influenced caravan. You can see by the bulkiness and the armor plating on the spokes and the wheels. And this is in game. The different types of caravans that you can own essentially
that's
as you
looking
commission
really
them will take the appearance.
what's
Makes you stronger.
Yeah.
This is coming on really
All
well.
those little looking at it being like,
Could you imagine if you had a small mesh where you couldn't see the spider and it was like one of those funnel spiders on the beach, and as you're walking past, just like it erupts out of the ground and attacks you? It's like
Great.
having those randomly placed throughout the world, not so much like in a hunting ground where you know,
That's
but like
good.
just random spawn.
Oh yes, I'm just gonna get this all, and then all of a sudden, like about 50 spiders spawn on top of
There's
it.
a funnel spiders that pop out of the ground and
like
just
you
scare
walk
the shit.
over it and you don't even know that there's a spider underneath you because it's like flat on the ground. Oh my gosh.
That would
And the
be
sound
great.
mix on it is totally off. So it's
Oh
super
yeah, the
Scary.
sound
loud
mix is
compared-
super loud. Yes, and you just hear the clapping of the mandibles and the teeth. That'd be great. It'd be cool if
Okay.
we could integrate that with like future, computer seats that have like tactile response. And when
A
that
little bit on
event,
their neck.
yeah, when that event occurs, the seat touches you. You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
It would definitely be crazy.
Start losing players to heart attacks.
yeah. We need
There-
to add that to our scope creep, by the way. Creation.
Okay. What's next?
5, yes.
Yeah, so we'll be releasing an article about each of those as well as some video content, so you'll know which abilities are going to be there, what stage it will be in. And also,
Okay, 5 classes that are going to be released in Alpha 1. That's something that's missing at the moment. We haven't got a very detailed list of the classes and their abilities, but we're hoping that gets released soon.
like the next milestone after that, after Alpha 1. So kind of what kind of feedback we're looking for each of those things. And then we'll also have stuff for systems and the races and things of that sort. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff to share with you all.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I will wrap up the show unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wanted to.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. There's lots of cool stuff in the game. The way the game works, yeah. I like the video, like the updates. I think I want to see more information on the classes, but the way that it is at the moment, it's looking like a good game. It still needs to work, and I'd rather wait for them to put time into making the game is correct on launch. I don't want it to be launched and then a patch and then another patch and another patch. Get it right first time, and I think it'll be good. But okay, yeah, I'm really impressed with that. Excellent stuff. Well done, Stephen. Well done, guys. So it's going to be, if I want it to be, if I imagine it coming out the way I want it to be, yeah, it's going to be a really good game. So yeah, thanks Intrepid for putting this time and banging these heads together to get this game released.